as the only balm for the nation's festering wounds. Now, we bear witness to Innocent Aduluba, a custodian of integrity, where honesty flows like a river untainted. His edges of sacred truth is fortified by the solid foundation of reason, delivering a symphony of clarity that dances gracefully along the social-cultural spectrum. Innocent, an oracle of the common people, channels their pulse, imbibing the essence of their struggles and transforming them into the language of the streets. His enlightenment becomes a lantern, guiding those lost in the shadow, illuminating pathways once obscured as he breathes life into the collective consciousness. Henry Igwebike stands as a watchdog, a vigilant watcher of the tempest that permeates the fabric of Nigeria, a land once resplendent with the vibrancy of hope, now adrift in the murky waters of uncertainty. With a heart heavy, yet buoyed by fate, he ponders the fate of this great vessel, once sailed by the spirits of unity and promise, now battered by the storms of discord and strife. What port shall it find amidst the turmoil? Where does the compass of its destiny truly point? As waves of cynicism crash against its hull, as the sirens of turmoil sing lullabies of disillusion. In this pantheon of jurors, each voice rings out a chorus, weaving the fabric of a new Nigeria. Sit, relax, and enjoy the show. The Middlemen of Jurors. The pantheon of jurors. In the hallowed halls of justice, where echoes of truth intertwine with whispers of despair, there stands Jumoke Alawode James, a radiant figure sculpted by the universe, with a beauty akin to a stallion galloping through fields of reckoning. Clad in the armor of eloquence, her voice pierces the thick veil of complacency, unraveling cases that cradle the very essence of Nigeria's collective agony. She stands a sentinel over a nation laid bare, beckoning it to rise from the ashes of its own dissolution, crying out for a redemption that dances just beyond reach. Next emerges Evans Ufeli, a sage, with a heart that beats in harmony with the rhythm of justice, an advocate driven by a fervent dream of egalitarian dawn. Each week, he unfolds a scroll of cases bestowed upon him by the wise rabbi, a craft woven with threads of profound thought and searing urgency. His lamentation for the plight of the people rises like a haunting melody, reverberating through a land where self-inflicted wounds twist the tendrils of allegiance into knots of a servitude, traded for nothing more than a pittance, a morsel of bread amidst the hunger of the soul. Then strides forth Emeka Madunagu, a linguistic maestro, armed with knowledge as dense as the forest, each word a carefully sharpened arrow aimed at the heart of injustice. He ventures onto this hallowed platform armed with solutions.
What do we actually call terrorism in the first place? Is it not when you obstruct and put people's life in danger?
True, Sha.
Like he did. I mean, he puts a lot, it costs apprehension.
Very true.
You know,
I can imagine being on that plane.
Yes.
Me when they like to fly before.
Yes.
I will just say, I want to move a boiler.
It will cost the airline. It will cost the airline money. It will cost people will and all that.
People may even start to stay away from the airline.
And
the airline should sue him. Instead, now the pilots they suspend.
And to add to it, it's a criminal offense. Okay, section 474 of the criminal code criminalize that act, and the penalty is 2 years imprisonment with fine or both.
Lawyer, can you help the country to sue him?
No, it's not me that will sue, it's the state. It's a criminal offense. It's the state that will arrest. and prosecute.
Okay.
So if the
But
state,
we know the state will not do it, yeah.
well,
They had better.
We don't know their side yet.
It's their friend.
Until they decide what they
Is
want
their
to
all their friends. You for any human being in Nigeria to go and stand in front of a plane. That is. Did you see why as the plane was revving? You must be that's a powerful person.
do. An average aircraft you see have 5 engines.
Yeah.
If anything he hits, it pieces.
Totally.
You know that the engine could have sucked him in.
So I mean, this is
Thank you.
embarrassing.
You remember that lady, that broadcaster in Abuja, who was trying to cross a rail line as a train was approaching.
Yes, now
They said no, her engine shut down.
Yes,
Because they say if there's a head and it is shut down, and she was crushed.
She was crushed. I remember.
Anyway, the conversation continues. We'll call a short break, and when we return, Juror Evans Ufeli, the juror from Rabbi, will be here to present his case titled GMO Will Poison the Gods of Our Land. Do stay tuned.
Panacea for the ill of his compatriots. Emeka unyielding locks eyes with the elite, unflinching in his resolve as he speaks truth to power with the fervor of a modern-day prophet. He advocates for a class suicide, a radical act of severance from the vines of greed that choke the very life of Nigeria, prescribing this sacrificial rite as the only balm for the nation's festering wounds. Now, we bear witness to innocent Aduluba, a custodian of integrity, where honesty flows like a river untainted. His edges of sacred truth is fortified by the solid foundation of reason, delivering a symphony of clarity that dances gracefully along the social-cultural spectrum. Innocent, an oracle of the common people, channels their pulse, imbibing the essence of their struggles and transforming them into the language of the streets. His enlightenment becomes a lantern, guiding those lost in the shadow, illuminating pathways once obscured as he breathes life into the collective consciousness. Henry Igwebike stands as Middleman.
Welcome back to the Middlemen of Jurors. My case, GMO will poison the gods of our land. You know, I consulted the gods of our land before I took this case. The claimants in this case represent the gods, and having consulted them, they said GMO will poison them if we ever get there. Here's their concern. The debate over genetically modified organisms in Nigeria has sparked intense opposition from various stakeholders, including civil society groups, farmers, and consumers. Critics argued vehemently against the adoption of GMO due to several key concerns. First, health risks are a primary focus of opposition. Activists warn that the long-term health impact of GMO are still not fully understood, raising fears about potential allergies and toxins that could affect consumers. Secondly, there are significant environmental concerns. Opponents fear that the introduction of GMO crops may lead to reduced biodiversity and the emergence of superweeds resistant to commonly used herbicides, ultimately disrupting local ecosystem. Moreover, the economic implication for smallholders, farmers are alarming. Many critics argued that reliance on patented GMO seeds could deepen the financial burden of local farmers, who may struggle to afford these costly inputs. This dependency on multinational corporation raises issue of food sovereignty. As community becomes reliant on external entities for essential agricultural resources, thus jeopardizing local food system. Transparency is another crucial aspect of the opposition. Many Nigerians advocate for mandatory labeling of GMO products, believing consumers should have the right to make informed choices about their food. Additionally, ethical concerns regarding genetic manipulation challenge traditional agricultural practice and cultural value associated with food production. My verdict: why the Nigerian government has established regulatory bodies like the National Biosafety Management Agency to monitor GMO, the intense public opposition complicates this effort. The ongoing debate highlights the need for comprehensive dialogue among stakeholders to address concerns and find a balance between agricultural innovation and public health and environmental safety. Ultimately, the future of GMO in Nigeria remains a contentious issue requiring careful consideration and engagement. I shall go to Rabbi again.
Well, that's a great one, but I would love to differ to a large extent. I think there are lots of misconception here. All those who are against the GMO, genetically modified organisms, are not doing it from a place of scientific statements. They're doing it from a place of emotion to a large extent. Because if you ask most of those against it, where are your scientific findings on how bad these things are? They might not even have any, right? There's a scientific consensus that's it's been made known by the WHO, by the FDA in America, that all of these misconceptions are actually very wrong. The fact that GMO causes cancer has not been scientifically proven. The fact that GMO causes lots of health issues has not been scientifically proven. The only thing they have stated that GMO does is what Pastor Vance has stated in his case, that biodiversity is being affected. Right? When you have GMO, the traits have a way of infiltrating through the ecosystem such that it
damages the ecosystem.
You understand? But on the case of health, I don't think it's actually been scientifically proven that GMO crops are dangerous to us. Right now in Nigeria, we're already consuming so many of them that we don't even know.
Okay.
We have the cowpeas, we have the maize. That's what we call the teller maize. Lots of us consume them. That's what is used to produce lots of things.
And some lemons that
already we consume.
But let me just stop you there, please. I'm a farmer. You said that lots of these things have not been scientifically proven.
Yes.
Now I want to just walk back on what you said, tying in from what Barrister said. Has it been scientifically proven that Nigerians cannot continue to produce food with the kinds of seeds, tubers, stems,
organic,
and all these things that we've been used to for over centuries?
Have you considered our population with regards to
no? Has it been scientifically proven? Has it been scientifically proven that?
Yes.
No, I asked a question.
Yes.
Taking from what you said, you said it has not been scientifically proven from the health side. Then I'm not asking, has it been scientifically proven that no matter the population, that the inputs, all the organic inputs we've been using over the years? Because remember, I told you I'm a farmer. So the organic inputs that we've been using will not be able to sustain our population at a certain level. Has it been scientifically proven?
Well,
no.
that does not even need any scientific science. It doesn't need.
Like Soludo, Soludo will say, Anambra governor, if it isn't broken, why does it need fixing?
Don't fix it.
Emeka, we all recognize that our agricultural ecosystem is broken. is dilapidated.
Who
right
said
now.
that?
Because of
Based
that,
on
there's-
what study?
There's food insecurity,
No.
which is a study.
Because of terrorism.
No.
Not because we
Because
have land.
not because we don't have land,
We
not
have
because
Nigerian
the land
farmers, and
is
we
not
farm what we
producing.
need
We
to
cannot, if we cannot take care of our food security, why can't we now opt for?
Who said we can't take care of our
Nigerian
food
farmers-
security?
No,
we can't.
I know you are trying to play the devil's advocate,
No.
but who? I mean,
Please,
who
can I-
has said that
I'd like to
we
respond.
cannot? Is our land bad?
No, it is not.
Are our inputs bad?
No.
Have the human beings in Nigeria suddenly totally lost interest in farming? The answer is no.
How sustainable is our subsistence?
It is
May I answer
very
that question?
sustainable.
That is what
It's
it
very
is.
sustainable.
May I answer that
To our
question?
Much
population,
of, some of the
May
consumption.
I answer this
Some of the
question?
consumption in my, just let me drop this. Some of the consumption, in a large extent of the consumption of my family, is produced from my farm.
Because you're opportunity to be a farmer.
And not just me.
He asked about sustainability.
please.
And then biodiversity, because Barrister mentioned, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for you to.
Mr. Emeka,
That biodiversity.
I think we should answer the questions that he has raised. One, I was going to say that Nigeria has gone the GMO way since Akinwumi Adesina was Minister of Agriculture under President Jonathan. He introduced it, and there's some products, like he mentioned cowpeas, there's some beans in our stores now that are GMO. Lemons, apples, in fact, we have grapes. We have been eating GMO grapes for a long time. When you hear anything that is seedless, it's GMO. Now, talking about sustainability, it's the same farmland that you will use for farming organic food that you will use for farming GMO. What has created food insecurity is that our farmers are unable to go to the farm. So if you sell them GMO seed and they still do not go to the farm, it will not plant itself. Number two, like you mentioned, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If we have enough land in Nigeria, the countries who are thinking GMO are
55
countries
million
that
hectares.
have 9 months winter.
Netherlands and the rest.
They cannot plant. We have the right rainy season, the right dry season for farming our crops. See the same yam that we could not export. Ghana came to pick our yam seeds, the head of our yam. They are planting it in Ghana and exporting it all over the world. Now, talking about the consequences of using GMO, it has been proven that GMO causes cancer. A lady in America.
Do you have?
I'm responding to
please,
you.
I'm responding.
I'm responding to you,
yeah.
sir. A lady in America took one of the countries, the companies that make the GMO seedlings to court. That is because she has been consuming a product from their GMO seedlings, and she was awarded compensation.
Oh, she used herself as a pig, as a guinea pig for that experiment.
It was a fallout.
You know, in America, there's proper labeling. So you will see that this big one is GMO. You will see the organic one is usually more expensive.
Very expensive.
So people would choose the cheaper one. As far as the government has allowed it come on into our stores, it means I can eat it, Abby. And she mentioned, and she was able to prove it in court, that it was the consumption of this GMO thing that made her have cancer. She was awarded compensation. It has been proven. Secondly, GMO seedlings, right? The way they affect our biodiversity is you you don't get seed from them to go and plant back. I read agriculture in secondary school. To sustain your soil,
so you have to rely on multinational companies.
You have to go and be buying seedling every time.
But remember the
Our
advantage of
farmers.
improved seed varieties over the years.
That's what I'm asking. What are you improving? Why are you improving the varieties?
GMO targets yield and overlook every other health implication.
What are
Now,
you?
go to these countries we are talking about, America, UK, and all that. If you go to their hospital, all of them are in the hospital. The hospital is like stadium. Everybody is sick. Now, let me tell you why we cannot afford that in this country. We don't have public health care system. In our NYSC camp, I think we have NYSC students. Are they called students or corporate?
Core members.
Yes, all of them here were shitting in nylon and throwing it in their respective campuses. We don't have the hygienic environment.
Mind your French.
Yes, we don't have the we don't have the hygienic environment. We cannot see if an epidemic struck this country or strikes this country as a result of the lack of unnatural intake of food. Okay, if we are not taking the right kind of food, we are taking, because see, anything that deviates from nature have consequences.
I wanted to answer. You know, Henry raised a lot of points.
Yes, anything that
there's
deviates from
another
nature
consequence
have
of. I wanted to harp on that part of the poor farmers that you say we're still doing subsistence farming. We're not doing mechanized farming because they are poor. Right now, maybe they take 1/3 of their harvests, right, and throw it back into replanting. With GMO, if Jumoke is the one that sold the seedling to you, when you harvest and you go and sell in the farm, you don't have seed to go and plant. You have to come back to Jumoke to come and buy the seedling, which is why everybody is even against that part. That look, they are creating insecurity, and that's a controversy. They are creating insecurity in Benue, the food basket of Nigeria, so that we say, oh, the farmers cannot go to farm, blah 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 blah, and we now start looking at GMO, because GMO, if it's supposed to take 9 months between planting and harvest, with GMO in 3 months you can turn over, and they say, oh, it's a quicker turnover and all of that. But the fact that you have to be going to the big farmer, the big companies to buy the seedling, it means you are no longer reliant on yourself. You have to be taking whatever out of your profits all the time to go and buy seed. That wasn't how it was before. You could take out of your own harvest for replanting.
Do you know why I fell in love with the Chinese? When, you know, I mean, when I was a producer, when I had a factory, was that I discovered that the Chinese, they produce machines and the parts are adaptable. The parts are adaptable. So any technician, you can bring any technician to fix their parts. You can get their parts easily. But you know, Indian machines, you must go back to the person who sold that machine. As a matter of fact, one of their franchisees in Nigeria has been in this country since the 60s. He told me, he's an elderly man, he told me that he sold the first machines that, you know, one of the companies producing sausage, you know, sausage, that the first 3 machines they used, that he was the one that sold. So he was there when it was set up, even a few blocks away from his shop. You know, he's a grandfather now. So, but I told him, I said, look, you know, the reason why I will not patronize you people is that I do not want, in doing my business, to be stuck at any point. That's why the Toyota brands have remained very popular in Nigeria. Because anywhere you have an issue, you can get a mechanic that even if you don't, even at least that can tinker with it, and you will get to your destination to, you know. So what I'm talking about is GMO thing.
Sustainability.
Whatever, however desirable it is the fact that for me, as a farmer, to have to go to a certain supplier, multinational, that I know that some of the multinationals have been sent away from some countries. For me, you know, to go to any multinational, to have to go to a multinational to go and get seeds, I will not be part of it.
That's dependability on them.
Right now, from my farm, you know, I wish I had the resources. If I had the resources, one of the things I learned from one billionaire, you know, who is into farming, is that one of the ways by which a nation can assure prosperity from generation to generation is by building seed banks. He said, even as a family, if you're into farming, build seed banks.
Well, at the same time,
build seed banks. So at my level, I have my own small seed bank. So anybody coming to tell me GMO and all that, I will tell you, my system isn't broken. I don't need your GMO to fix it.
Then you will now damage the soil. You cannot plant anything else except GMO in that soil.
Well, at the same time, I sincerely feel that as people who are widely read, we should equally try as much as we can to disabuse the minds of those who are not opportune to read. That that the food that we produce, our Franken foods, are usually made in the lab. They're actually not made in the labs. Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of ignorance around it, but we are giving you education on it.
So very well. So, but if you now introduce GMO, sometimes people will start to manufacture eggs and all that. So we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, Juror Olajumoke Alaode James will present her case titled "Nigeria Overcompensates Rather Than Reward." Don't go anywhere.
Middlemen.
The punching of jurors In the hallowed halls of justice, where echoes of truth intertwine with whispers of despair, there stands Jumoke Alawode James, a radiant figure sculpted by the universe, with a beauty akin to a stallion galloping through fields of reckoning. Clad in the armor of eloquence, her voice pierces the thick veil of complacency, unraveling cases that cradle the very essence of Nigeria's collective agony. She stands a sentinel over a nation laid bare, beckoning it to rise from the ashes of its own dissolution, crying out for a redemption that dances just beyond reach. Next emerges Evans Ufeli, a sage, with a heart that beats in harmony with the rhythm of justice, an advocate driven by a fervent dream of egalitarian dawn. Each week, he unfolds a scroll of cases bestowed upon him by the wise rabbi, a craft woven with threads of profound thought and searing middleman. 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 Middleman.
Thanks for staying with us in the Middlemen. My case, Nigeria overcompensates rather than rewards. There's an ongoing conversation about cash gifts to our sporting leagues who have won international tournaments. First, gifting them dollars tells a lot about the importance of the naira, even to the president. Tissue paper. Secondly, $100,000 is about 150 million naira. That's huge. Not because the ladies don't deserve good rewards, but because of our value system. If you have a proper system of remunerations, you won't have to overcompensate. I gave two quick examples. I read that the reason we buy expensive gifts as Christmas is to overcompensate for not being in people's lives throughout the year. If you spend time with your family and friends, call regularly, buy them something for their birthdays, do lunch or dinner at Easter and other festive seasons, at Christmas, even a small gift would suffice. But when you have not been there for them throughout the year, you try to make it up to them with large sums of money or expensive gifts. If everyone in Nigeria is paid well, doctors, teachers, sportsmen, lecturers, everyone gets a befitting salary, allowances, adequate kits to do their work, we won't need to overcompensate. Second example, my friend said England also won their Women European Cup. No fanfare, just Prime Minister's handshake and everyone went about their day. He said his colleagues didn't even know that the women won the tournament. That's because each person is already getting paid well for what they do. It's their job to try their best to win at everything. On to the next one. Here's my verdict. Nigeria needs a system that works. A soldier wrote that in his next life he will come as a sportsman, talking about how they don't get their due to lay their lives down for the country. Someone else wrote about the lack of funding for research at our tertiary institutions. Corruption has robbed us of due process. A sports minister had reached America for the World Cup while the players were stuck firing another country in transit because of lack of proper preparations recently. Our anyhowness is bewildering. The ones at the top of every agency, ministry, and department are unethical. Steal the monies they ought to use to develop such institutions, and we all enable it to the extent it benefits us. Destroy our institutions, and if anything good then comes out of these decrepit institutions, we believe we have to overcompensate. No, we don't. We just have to do the right things and build a Nigerian system that works for all, gives everyone their just due per time, and we will succeed. We're a great nation after all.
Yeah, wow. Nigeria, what Nigeria does is that it creates by its own design inequalities. Yes, because why should some persons be earning salary from a different laws and other workers are earning salary from different laws in the same country?
True, which is true.
Yeah, you have two laws.
Two laws, yeah.
One of them, their salary is being fixed by the Revenue Mobilization and the
Fiscal Commission.
Fiscal Commission. The other one, their salaries and emolument is fixed by the Labor Act. Okay? So when you have that disparity, this kind of thing will occur. You're even saying this. You've not heard how they used to be abandoned when they finish playing.
Yes, now if they lose the match, it's because they won.
We are never in their lives. So now that they've won,
we want to overcompensate.
We have to overcompensate.
Yeah, very
you understand?
True.
And at the end of it, it's not a good system.
It's not.
Because you are treating your citizens as one-off individuals. Individuals you can
abandon now, and when they do well, you say, this is our own. Okay. You know that even the overcompensation is because...
Yeah, the overcompensation I'm referring to is one side. Because if you look at the police, over the last 2 months, policemen who just retired have been coming out to say that the one that spoke yesterday in Benin said that they gave him 2 million plus as gratuity. The other one had 1 million plus. And they are saying that it's not enough. These ones were never in their lives when they were even serving. Not to talk about overcompensation that you are referring to. So it's just the usual muster from when they started, when they were in service up until where they end. Now that they now have accumulation of children and responsibilities, you now give them that money and retire them, and they are retired. They don't have any other source of income and the rest, so they are rejecting the pay. So
let me use overcompensation in the instance of a police officer. If a police officer, for instance, returns $10,000, we will think, it is out of the blues, because they are so poorly paid that all of them think, most of them even now, they are begging for handouts on the streets. So, we expect that they would steal. So such a person will now start saying, they should give him $1,000. Ordinarily, if all of us were properly paid, it's supposed to even be the law. And it's supposed to be the law. You just say thank you, and everybody goes home.
And it gets seriously in the psyche of our policemen. It gets seriously in their psyche, because the reason many of them are trigger happy, because I've seen policemen, each time they stop you, they are surprised that you are comfortable. They are so surprised.
They even want the bread.
I give bread all the time, banana and all that. They will ask for it. You understand? Because they are so surprised that you are comfortable. The moment they see you, they start to suspect you. You must be a thief. To be this comfortable, you must be, because the way they are treated, the way they are paid, the quality of life we give to them, it has entered them to the point where anybody that played hair or carry laptop and move to one place is a fraudster. If you drive Mercedes, just forget about it. They will stopping you every minute,
every day.
You understand? Because they just feel that you are too fortunate, and you couldn't have been any other thing other than a thief, and that is wrong. So we should treat them well, and then do the needful.
Build a system that treats everyone well.
Everyone equally. Because look, productivity is should be a general thing. It should be a policy. It should not be a psychological thing, like when you give children ice cream, and they are so excited, But that is where the problem comes in. We think that we should only wait when people succeed, then
we reward them.
Now reward them. We give them so much. No.
And why are you rewarding them with dollars in the first place?
Because your naira is tissue paper.
Because you have it now. You see the same.
Your naira has no value to you.
The same Tinubu government that's talking of the national grid has run away from the national grid. Let's take note. They've run away from the national grid.
Because it's unproductive.
So now the same Tinubu government is also now running away.
They are the one that said and they are the one that said the free fall. The naira should go on free fall.
And then you now went to Kuwait.
So get another loan. Oh God!
If even if you were to reward these girls, you have different bonds. Federal government bonds. You have treasury bills. These are young girls. Many of them are still in school. Why not give them bond certificates that will mature maybe in 5 years or 10 years? When some of them, many of them will have become full adults, then the money will make more, will be of more benefit to them. Because when you keep doling out cash and all that.
When you were not the one who trains them, you did not buy them kits. You didn't invest anything in them.
The stadiums have collapsed.
You have to overcompensate because you know you do not deserve the win that they're giving to you. You see that girl that her mother is from Malawi. All her training is not in Nigeria. The Malawians felt so betrayed by her that you are going to play for your father's country.
Are they the ones that gave her the training? She sourced that training herself now. You know, Malawi and Nigeria is not the same thing. I mean, they should not be angry.
The French people have this phrase, comme ci, comme ça.
Yes.
Neither
like this, like that.
Or bad. As much as we realize and we understand that the society we live in is bad, but at the same time, I sincerely feel that the philanthropic gesture of the president shouldn't be seen like he has done anything bad, actually. Because if we juxtapose it with what the entertainment is doing, Big Brother Nigeria this year would hand over 150 million naira, the same $100,000 to whomever would be the winner after they finish all of that.
Please don't make
comparison.
Don't make comparison. We're talking about public money.
Oranges and apples.
Anybody can give anything private sector.
Oranges and apples.
Emeka, because you know why I'm saying this with respect to your submission on giving bonds. And so, let me share a very simple example, experience that I had. In 2003, I won the stock exchange essay competition. Represented my school and the state. We were flown to Lagos here, and my prize winning was, as at the time, 150,000 naira. And Nigerian Stock Exchange said, instead of giving me 150,000 naira, which I barely needed at that point, they said they were going to convert it to stock, to shares, and all.
And you agreed?
All of us, we had no choice. They willing, because they said, oh, you guys, this is what you want, but this is what we are giving you. So everyone accepted it. We couldn't even do anything about it. Many years after, just like 3 years back, I went to see what the stock is value. First, they told me that because I've not been around for 10 years, that I have to forego the 10 years of the dividends.
That's your fault.
And the rest and whatever it is. But the total cost of the shares as at today of Nigerian breweries today of 150,000 naira would have collected today is worth 60,000 naira. Now the question is, why would that player accept or whatever bond that was supposed to be given to them than that money? So
how about the Super Eagles that they gave houses since 1984?
Thank you. Most of them would even see the houses.
6, Abi? Is it?
Yes.
The houses, they have not delivered the houses till now.
You know, so I think as
anyway, you are responding to his suggestion for a bond.
For a bond, which
my own verdict was to have a system where everybody gets remuneration. Hold on a minute. Let me use the example of basketball or football in that regard. If your stadia across all states, right, all your students, NUGA, Nigerian University Games, you know, and all of that, Nigerians are training sportsmen and women. They are well kitted. They have all the equipment that they need. Then they go to, and then the ones that you now choose based on merit only into your national team, you have monthly allowances that you're giving to them, that they can take care of their family, to say, I'm a sportsman and I'm well fed. If they go into any tournament, you'll be expecting them to win because they've been well trained. If they do their best and they do not win, you say, oh, well done, well, you know, better luck next time. Shake them, they go home. If they come home and win, maybe you want to give them a small reward. Why? Because they are already well taken care of. The point I'm driving at is, you only think that you need to buy them a house when you have not invested at all.
But at a point when
not your big brother, big brother.
Yes.
Big brother is private sector. So what you are saying, even also responding to Bayo Onanuga, is that very simple. Following from what you said, take the money, fix the sports sector.
Which money? How much are we talking about?
And this year they have
your stadia. Then let the private sector run. Let the private sector invest in your sports and reward them.
This is even angering me. Because
not government money.
If federal government abandoned the national stadium in Surulere because we went to Abuja, you know how much was spent to build the MKO stadium in Abuja. It is now cow. that is living
Blazing
inside there.
inside the stadium.
Waste of money, waste of. Then one FCT minister will wake up one day and say, we want to host the African Nations Cup in Abuja. We are going to spend 100 billion to renovate. When you have not been maintaining, nobody is using it right now.
I did a research recently.
Wonderful stadium.
It's only the Gosila Stadium in Uyo that is, of standard in Nigeria.
Shebi, I went to Ogun State for National Sports Festival now. It was when I got on ground that they were renovating the stadium.
So one thing we should know is this. I'm a private sector person. What if you're talking about Big Brother? Government doesn't even have hands. If you're talking about Big Brother, good and fine. Take the money, fix your stadium. Or otherwise, concession your stadium.
Concession is fine.
Let the Super Eagles or Women Eagles, Super Falcons. Now, let them be on the sponsorship endorsement deals. Open doors for endorsement deals with private companies.
They have to do all of that by themselves individually.
Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Look at Messi and the rest of it. Where is Messi playing? Which club is he playing in? Is it one of the Premiership clubs? No. But look at Messi, the FIFA Club World Cup. Look at how everybody focused on him, and look at how far it took them before they fell out. But that FIFA Club World Cup is where serious countries are now saying, with the money, the reward for participating in that club, that they are going to fix, that they are going to help their clubs to do very well, so that they can get it, because there's a lot of money.
It's a big reward, right?
Big, go and find out. Big money.
So there's nothing wrong in equally having rewards.
I mean the FIFA Club World Cup. If there was no Nigerian team, there were 4 African teams. There was no Nigerian team. So imagine if a Nigerian team was part of it for participating. You get a lot of money. So fix your sports sector and let the private sector invest money. Local and foreign investors will put money into your sports
Very
sector. Simple. You don't even need all these companies because they don't even need it. Put the money into fix the sports sector.
I want to take your suggestion that we must reward, right? Imagine somebody that has been playing for the country for many years and they've never won any tournaments. This is the 10th time that Super Falcons won this African Cup. 10th time. No, but I'm just saying that imagine that maybe you even met President Buhari because you won the cup and he shook you at that time. Now you are meeting President Tinubu for the first time. He's shaking. You'll be very happy for just a shake. Talk less of they are now giving you maybe your salary used to be 300,000 every month. They now give you 100,000 extra bonus for winning the cup or something. Or they're giving you shares, something bonus like that. But not they have to give you house. Whoever it is will be happy that they're just receiving a presidential shake. If we already have a system that rewards hard work, that's the simple
truth. From the roots.
Yeah. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, Juror Henry Igwe, my tongue is twisting on your name, will be here to present his case titled The Chronicle of Governor Amunike, a comedy with a bitter truth. Just stay with us, we'll be right back.
Middlemen. The highly anticipated book titled The Citizen Jones Selected Prologues is finally here.
This explosive new book takes you on a journey through the finest writing of the ace journalist and broadcaster that will leave you inspired and informed.
The Citizen Jones Selected Prologues of Volume 1 now available. Get your copy now.
For details, contact 0706 9637 935 or send an email to enterprisetv@gmail.com.
Citizen Jones Selected Prologues,
a classical compendium of compelling arguments.
Middlemen. Thank you for staying tuned. My case, The Chronicle of Governor Amunike, a comedy with a bitter truth. The satirical series, Governor Amunike, portrayed by comedian Kelvin Black, may draw waves of laughter and rack up millions of online views, but beneath the humor lies a scathing indictment of Nigeria's political rot. Through exaggeration and mockery, the skit exposes the disturbing normalization of government's wastefulness, arrogance, and disregard for the suffering of ordinary citizens. Kelvin Black cleverly uses comedy not just to entertain, but to confront the painful reality of a society where leaders flaunt ill-gotten wealth, while institutions meant to provide checks and balances either remain silent or actively able the corruption. Perhaps most telling is the series post-production twist, the symbolic cleanup of the grotesque, presenting a distorted image of progress. It mirrors how Nigerian leaders attempt to whitewash a failure with propaganda and manipulate narratives. My verdict: Governor Amunike is more than comedy. It's a mirror. A society that laughs but doesn't listen to the message is complicit in its own decay. Kelvin Black's satire should be a wake-up call for all and sundry to speak up in which and whatever form against a deliberate design of the elite to dispose of our common good.
You know, there's one of his skits that he was dreaming, but at the beginning we didn't know he was dreaming. He was on the streets and then throwing money out, and then everybody would just run away from the money. And then he bothered him, I threw money. Because all his other skits, right, he's buying everybody, he'll buy a few people, and everybody else will just be shouting, you know, complaining. And then he threw money again, same reaction. And then somebody now picked, so he stopped, you know, the second set of people and said, what's happening? And they said, Nigerian youths are now well remunerated, they are doing their own business, they don't need politicians to come and share money, that by 2027 the politicians will smell, you know, themselves, because nobody is going to be collecting their money. So that made him very upset that it can't be true. Then while they were having that discussion, somebody was now picking the money. Say, it's a lie. Did I not see? Now look at somebody picking the money, and the guy walks up to him, sir, you dropped money. And then he just woke up. And then when he woke up, he said, hey, he's in trouble, oh, he's in trouble. So he went outside and started throwing money. And then everybody was rushing and saying, hey, that's the system that we built. Keep them poor so that you can give them handouts when you need them during elections. Now, so if we think it's just satire, we laugh at the comedy, and we do not learn from what he's showing us, that we are victims of the systems that we have created. You and I think that because one politician can pay us 100 million naira, we have, God punish poverty, we have abandoned poverty. But then, that your 100 million naira will not become air ambulance that will fly you out for immediate health care. If an accident, and Nigeria happens to any of us, the best of us, you know, if an accident happens and it will claim your life. There was a former governor that was flying a plane, had an accident, died a vegetable, because they took him to National Hospital Abuja for first aid. By the time they will now fly him abroad for proper health care and everything, he was a vegetable. It was his wife that was ruling, you know. I think he even ran for second term. The Nigerian system is anyhow. Anyway, so the satire series, you know, is to teach us that we have created this system. To stop it, it must be you and I. We cannot be thinking about our bellies, stomach infrastructure, and not the future of generations yet unborn.
But no matter the satire, we'll never get to learn. Yes. Something is going on in my state now. I am the one being vilified now in Delta State, because some of my kinsmen who have been paid have gathered to vilify my advocacy for the IPP step down 33 line that was approved by President Obasanjo for host communities of oil companies in Delta State. So if you look at it, they are busy all over the place saying that I was disrespecting the deputy governor and that I was abusing the deputy governor and all that, who is from my place and all that. But when you look at my outings on social media and all that, there was nowhere I abused the man. There was nowhere I said anything other than criticizing the fact that you shouldn't say protest is noise. That protest is a fundamental right of
They
the
don't like
citizen.
criticism.
Not that. So they're able to fund people. One of the one leading this is just a photographer who had begged me some time ago that I should, when he took photograph in my friend's swearing in, who made it as the SSC, had begged me to ensure that payments get to him. He's the one writing a lot of things about me and all.
So you think he has been paid?
So, no, he's a photographer to the deputy governor.
So
what I'm trying to say is that what I'm doing, he's actually the worst hit, really. I don't need to advocate for death ends. That's the truth. I mean, I don't need to do what I'm doing.
Why? Because you live in Lagos?
No, I don't need to do what I'm doing. They are the ones giving birth to children in Delta State. They are the ones that our children go to school where they write exam in darkness, schools are flooded, children sit on the floor, and my children are not here. I don't have any business with doing what I'm doing. So, but I'm doing it from a place of pain for my people, okay? But the average Nigerian never gets to learn because of his fellowship with poverty. So now that we are doing that advocacy, and the federal government is now seeing what, and the federal government is now calling, the governor is calling the deputy governor, and they are all calling themselves to say what is going on in that place, make sure you keep peace to reign in that place and all that. Now that we are at the verge of getting the IPP established, once the people remember their fellowship with darkness,
covenants with poverty,
darkness, negativity, lack of hospital and all that,
they will derail it.
They will pull out and start to criticize people like us who have sacrificed. Somebody went to go and dig up one of my photographs where I've been chased in the night in Asaba and they broke my jaw, where I was lying down at the gutter. The guy took the photograph and posted it and wrote about it to them. That this person who is lying down here have no business doing this. My family are not there. I am not connected to. No, I don't have any investment in your this thing. I could have stayed on my own, be as selfish as possible. You understand? But you have the people will always be the people. And you need to now understand them to know that their covenant with poverty is not something they are willing to give up. So you just
we just laugh at Kelvin Black and move on, Abi.
Yes, because we never get to learn. We are not. Some people don't believe that they are suffering.
Who are even the people?
Especially because they are born into deprivation.
Who are the people suffering? Who are the people enabling their poverty? You can see now, if you don't get involved, they will say, oh, we have a big lawyer from this place.
And he's not doing anything.
And he's not doing anything. You see, Nigerians, we live in a bubble of falsehood, insincerity, and self-injury. That's the bubble in which we live. We know everything that is wrong, but we do not take conscious actions to make things better. Let me take one example. This, online you will see what they call Yoruba Ronu. People have now turned, people who don't even understand why the late legendary, Third Chief Hubert Ogunde did that play. The circumstances and the tragic, circumstances that followed that play, they've now weaponized it as a political tool for propaganda. But when people tell them, be very careful, before you use them, go and find the root. Go and find how this thing started and what it symbolizes. What was said in that play? What followed? Do you know how that play became a prophecy? The prophecy in that play in that play turned out in real life. It happened in real life. So we know all the problems, but what are we doing to ensure we sort out the problems? For instance, I was challenging my my people in my town on some WhatsApp groups. I was telling them, I said, how many of us have written books? That's what I was challenging them. Some started posting. I said, how many people in this town know that you are an author? How many know about your books? And then how many of your books are on Amazon and places where that AI is getting traction now, whether we like it or not. So if you want to push your narratives, if you want to tell your story, you have to make sure that your literary works are in places that AI can crawl them and push up, because AI is not a human being that you expect it to go and it will pick what is available online. So with the growing attraction to AI, Nigerian banks, Nigerian government agencies, MSMEs, different sectors are now adopting AI, and it's growing.
Machine learning.
Different. So what you need to do is this: instead of us playing catch up, go there. Let your own narrative be there. Let your works be there. Make sure that in fighting corruption, make sure that your imprint can be found online. You can't just be shouting, Nigerian politicians are corrupt. What literary, what intellectual input are you making? Are you investing in to make sure that this message resonates? Look at this thing that happened.
But what if they are all assistants of Governor Amunike? They won't do that.
No, you see, you fight. That's one of the things about technology. Technology and scientification will help to transform this country. Because technology tells you that what Governor Amunike is doing, you see what he said, you say, let's look at the edit. Let's roll back.
Let's look at the edit. Yes.
So when he does where is your own edit? He has his own edit. You are pushing him on the street. You have phones. Where is your own edit? If you upload his own edit, upload your own.
Wisdom.
Because when somebody goes to ask what really happened on so and so date, when Governor Amunike, let's say, visited one place,
Very true.
it will bring out his own, it will bring out your own.
You should post your own.
Populate the internet is God's gift to mankind. Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
Feed it with information.
Feed it with information. That's why we must keep talking. We must keep talking. Uploading videos. Young people upload videos, not just videos of people doing skits. Upload videos of. Look at this young lady, Ray. What's her name? That former youth corps member. She just spoke about something, just randomly.
And that changed.
Now her advocacy is online.
Very true.
Those her traducers, the advocacy is online. But what happened? Her advocacy won the day.
Yeah.
But she could have just sat back and said, no,
And
no
be complaining
problem.
at home.
Yeah.
And be complaining. Why the Governor Amunike is in power?
Yes.
We'll be pushing their own narratives. Oh, she's a stupid girl. Look at where she was sitting with people and enjoying. Why is she complaining about it? Why would she complain? Would you deny a prince in the British monarchy of his due entitlement because he is a member of the monarchy? He won't dare it. Donald Trump is the president of America. But look at the benefits he's been getting. Some people have been saying, no, it is drugs abuse of office. Donald Trump doesn't mind. Because he will tell you, go and read my book, The Art of the Deal. So, I just want to conclude by saying, the art of the deal is this. Nigerians, as you are complaining, these people are not just sitting in one place. So, they are also amplifying. Using social media, using different means. So, you to amplify. Right now, you see people now deleting. Some people have been deleting their tweets.
Yes, now because they went for economic summit, Wi-Fi jollof rice summit, and then they now started telling lies by going to old tweets and then reposting of how some people insulted Peter Obi. And then Obedience too now went online. So go and bring our old tweets where the things that we have not even seen about Peter Obi, different people praising him. I said, oh yeah, go and bring any tweets of all of these people that are now following President Tinubu when they praised him in the past.
Some people have offered 1 million.
1.2 now. Somebody else has put 200 on top. The only thing they found was where all his SSAs were calling him thieves. They were calling him thieves. So you are very right about it. We too, throw your own narrative online.
Throw it.
The internet is
use
for all of us.
technology. Let me tell you, that's what will liberate Nigeria. You see this
And
AI.
the average Nigerian should stop this beggarly attitude.
Yes.
This thing about if we don't collect money.
Do you know that I noticed today
we will not
that
get money again.
one tribe, you never find them begging on the streets in Lagos.
That's my tribe. You can't find us beg, even where we live.
I don't know about your tribe.
The average that one man would rather die
I don't
than
know
to come to you for anything.
I don't know about your tribe.
You don't know, I'm telling you. That's my narrative.
But my
So
Yoruba
talk
brothers.
about your own.
My Yoruba brothers.
No, but you amplify the positive things.
My
about
Yoruba
your own-
brothers. My Yoruba brothers.
It's okay. No, it's okay.
If you travel, hold on.
No, but there are positive
If you
things
travel,
about-
Oh.
see, if you travel from here by road to Onitsha or Delta, the moment you leave Southwest, once you enter the Edo axis, you will not see one beggar again from there to Onitsha.
You know that we Yorubas ignorantly call everybody on the east of Southwest Igbos.
That's the wrong.
Plus Etwa, plus Calabar,
Plus even Edo.
plus
Who are their kinsmen?
everybody is
Wrong
Igbo.
analysis.
But so when I said that one tribe, okay, I've just carried all of you people together.
The truth is that in Etwa, you can never find a beggar. It doesn't work that way.
Nigeria can be better, actually.
Funnily, Kevin Black and Governor Amunike, they're doing an awesome job, such that Ghanaians are equally begging him to come over to Ghana and repeat the same thing that he's doing in Nigeria. People from Kenya are begging him, literally.
Does he have to go there physically?
Well, they are asking him.
Let them raise their
They
own.
are asking him right
their
now.
own
They should raise their own government.
The whole of Africa need what.
What's that?
Okay, see,
I beg, leave
All
our
politics is local. Let them raise their own.
I leave our government.
They should leave our government to us, I beg.
They want to monetize our.
Oh, they want us to export it.
I love that monetize.
All right, that's a wrap on today's session of the Middlemen of Jurors. We have laid the cases bare, challenged the comfortable, and spoken for those unheard. But the conversation doesn't end here. Join us online at Enterprise TV 7 across all platforms and share your own verdict. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and never stop asking the hard question. From all of us at Enterprise Television, it's goodbye.
Middleman.